Carol. One of the ways Wimba helps colleges and universities meet the needs of 21st century learners is with Wimba Pronto. So those of you who attended Michael's keynote yesterday know that you can download Wimba Pronto Basic for free. And when used with your course management system, Pronto Basic auto-populates your courses, organizations, and rosters so the students can find and support each other, whether it's through chat, voice over IP, or video. So what I'd like to do is take a moment to talk about the full version of Pronto. So what's offered beyond that basic version? We're going to go out here out of PowerPoint, go into Pronto. And one of the features I want to talk about today is office hours. I think as I demonstrate this, you can easily imagine how Wimba Pronto can be used for office hours to help your faculty with tutoring center, help desk, library, or other countless institutional services. And meeting those needs, as Carol mentioned, meeting students where they are, the way they want to be reached. So right here we've entered my office, and it looks like Marlon has entered my office. He needs help solving, I think that would be quadratic equations. So I can go ahead and promote him to my office and work with him individually while others wait online in this virtual waiting room. So I'm going to take you through the preferences when you set up one of these office hours, so you can see the different ways you can customize how you address and how you work with students within this environment. The first is enable waiting room chat. So down here, the students who would be waiting for me would be down in the we call the waiting area. And we encourage, from a pedagogical standpoint, to encourage the waiting room chat because we feel that students can help each other while they're waiting online to meet with a teacher. You can also have it set up for automatic promotion. What that means is one of those features we've been asked for years as we worked through the collaboration space was a way to make it easier for teachers to work with students. So they work with somebody, that person leaves, the next person online comes in. So we wanted to automate that for teachers to be able to serve students in that one-to-one way. We also have my favorite feature, which is require reason for entering. And I always like it when Wimba can provide an experience in the online world that's actually better than the face-to-face environment. So if you're in a face-to-face environment and you're holding office hours, you don't know who's outside of your door, you don't know who's lined up, or if anyone is lined up, and you don't know why they're there. Right? This provides you a way to see who's there, see the order they came, and also see why they're there to visit you in advance. So I think it's a way of improving that traditional office hours environment. So now I'm going to go and show you one of the new features with Wimba Collaboration Suite 6.0. So as Carol mentioned, we're releasing 6.0 in conjunction with BbWorld here. So we're going to go ahead and launch the new whiteboard within Pronto. So I'm going to go import some content, and you can import Wimba whiteboard files, which is what I'm going to do now, but you can also import any PowerPoint or basic image files as well. So take a look down here. This is the Canvas ribbon down at the bottom. This is where the content is accessed within the whiteboard. So we're going to go ahead and close that ribbon and do a quick exercise on the screen to demonstrate some of the basic annotation and object-oriented properties of this whiteboard as we manipulate different objects. So I have this math exercise. I always do math exercises because it's all I really remember from school. So graph the line negative 2x plus 3. So we can go ahead and grab our line tool and draw that line down here. And then we're asked to graph the line y equals negative 2x plus 1. For all of you who don't know, the line actually doesn't change slope. All it is doing is changing by 2 on the y-axis. So I can go ahead and grab that line and just move it down too. So it kind of shows you the object-oriented properties of this new whiteboard. I'm going to do one more exercise, take you through some other basic math that you might have forgotten, do some tutoring with you. So graph this equation, y squared plus x squared equals 4, and what is that radius? So I can go ahead and grab my circle tool. I'll make it blue. Draw my circle. And I didn't do the best job of it, so I can grab it and I can move it, try to get it right on the axis. And then I'm going to say that, for all of you who don't know, the radius, if I drew this properly, would be 2. And now if I want to say, what's y plus x equals 1? What's that radius? I can draw. Now I'm going to fill the circle to distinguish that, see what that looks like. But you know what? They covered my axis. Really easy to do. We have some advanced properties within the whiteboard. Go ahead and change that opacity there on the fly. And none of this is difficult to do. When we designed this whiteboard, we did it so that all these features, the most commonly used features for annotation, are really at your fingertips and pretty self-explanatory. It's kind of an example of the annotation tools. So I explained the canvas ribbon a bit earlier, down here below. I'm going to talk a little bit about some subtleties that you might not have noticed. But as I was updating my whiteboard, down here below in this canvas, it was updating in real time. And it was a little subtle, so I'm going to repeat and change it. So keep your eye here on this canvas too while you're looking here. If I change this to blue, you'll notice down here it's blue as well. So what does this mean? What can you do with this? What are these use cases that are empowered with this? Well, we've created this Explore feature where you can allow students to go out and self-navigate. You can allow them to independently create their own canvases, work on their own canvases without disrupting everyone else. But me, if I'm teaching or leading this session, I have an overview of everything that's happening down below. So if I had 4 students, I could see in real time how they were updating their canvases and how they were progressing with their exercises. And then I could bring everyone back and have them share their content with the group. It's kind of a way we designed the whiteboard to allow students to do that self-navigation. So in terms of saving content, because that's very important, we understand that portability is part of everything we design now. You have 2 saving options. The first is you can save all of the canvases, so the whole canvas ribbon, and you can save it as the Wimba whiteboard archive, and that preserves all those layers that you see in here, so you can manipulate those objects later after importing. The other options are your basic, PDF image files that flatten it, but then might make it easier for those who maybe they're not using the Wimba whiteboard and they just want to review the content. This would be how the delivery method you would use for them. You also can save individual canvases as well through the Save Canvas. So down here below, I want a new canvas. So down here below is a Wimba instructional gallery, and I'm going to spend a minute talking a little bit about that. The gallery is made up of folders of education-specific objects, and the first folder is a little bit different from the rest. Instead of objects, it actually contains backgrounds. So for instance, we've got a chalkboard, calendaring, line paper, graph paper, the Cartesian coordinate you saw me use earlier. I didn't put that together. That came already preloaded for easy access. We even have music and a number of maps, the world map as well. We have space, and that's more fun, to be quite honest with you. And we wanted to include a little bit of a fun factor to this whiteboard because the students do like to have fun as well as learn at the same time. So we have the common folder, and we have clip art. It also gave our developers a little bit more oomph, and we have hidden Starship Enterprise images. Not really, but you can go with that one, right? It kept the developers motivated, me as well. I find it quite fun to use. So we're going to go back here, and I'm going to load the chalkboard. And you have shapes. And the way you use the objects is just a simple drag and drop process. So I just drag that up, and I can change and manipulate it. You'll notice, and you'll see a little bit later how when I expand things and make them larger from this object library, it doesn't get pixelated. The image quality stays the same. Another thing that I always forget to mention, but I think is powerful, and I don't even know if our staff knows about this yet, you can actually just drag objects from your desktop onto the whiteboard. I haven't demonstrated that much. I keep forgetting. I know everyone's happy, like, Annie did not forget to demo that. So you can go ahead. So if I had an architecture course and I wanted to show the Guggenheim, I would just drag that onto my whiteboard. Whatever image it is support all of that drag and drop capability.
It always makes me nervous when someone says, I don't know if anybody knows this yet.
Well, we just released it. So how many Wimba folks knew that? Besides Marlon, right? Because Marlon, see, you knew it.
There we go.
Okay. So that's one that we're going to make sure to advertise a little bit more in